Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about things I stopped buying because I just realized they were unnecessary or a waste of money or both. In some cases, I just realized that I was buying them without ever using them, so they just ended up being unnecessary things that sat around. Some things I just have way too many of as it is. In some cases, my style of makeup has changed, so maybe this type of product doesn't really fit in my routine any longer. So the first thing I no longer buy, and I feel like I've probably said this one before, and then totally did not stick to my word on that. Like, I did end up accumulating primers despite not really loving them or knowing how to use them in my routine, and I still feel like primers are unnecessary. Even if they do something that's helpful, I would much rather just have my foundation already do the things I want it to do without needing the help of a primer. I would rather let my sunscreen act as my primer and then pick my sunscreen according to what I think is going to interact well with my makeup that day. Yeah, I'd much rather treat my sunscreen as primer rather than layer, like, sometimes a moisturizer, a sunscreen, and a primer on top of each other before you even get to foundation. It's just like there are so many layers of stuff on your face at that point that there are way too many opportunities for things to interact weirdly with each other. And I just don't love that. So I would much rather treat my skincare and sunscreen as the priming steps. Because a lot of the time, I worry that my primer could be interacting with my sunscreen and perhaps lifting it up, creating like gaps in my sunscreen, because a lot of primers are just glorified serums or moisturizers. And you're not supposed to apply serum and moisturizer on top of sunscreen, so it doesn't really make sense for primer to go on top of sunscreen, especially when it's like a really, like, watery consistency and you're putting it on top of a mineral sunscreen. That's totally lifting up the mineral sunscreen and really reducing the coverage of it, I would have to guess. I really want to use up my primers and then not have any more. I do not need those in my collection. I just really do not need them, even though I have plenty of primers that I enjoy. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer that I'm about to pan, like, that one is great if you're looking for a good smoothing primer. Definitely check it out, but for me, like, I don't need to repurchase it. And I also have pretty much stopped buying mineral sunscreen. Now, I will try a mineral sunscreen if I receive an NPR and it looks like something I might enjoy. I will try it because I'm always on the hunt for, like, good mineral sunscreens to recommend, but I really don't buy them because I'm not actively searching for, like, a good mineral sunscreen. I feel like, there are plenty that I know of, but I'm still always open to finding more. At the same time, I much prefer Asian beauty sunscreens, Korean and Japanese. I have just found so many favorites, and they really do not compare to the mineral sunscreens we have here. They make mineral sunscreens seem so thick and heavy, and yeah, so I'm just, I'm not really searching for the next best mineral sunscreen. I also find mineral sunscreens, just even the really good ones, like, they're so much more prone to pilling or just looking weird under makeup or really being finicky depending on the humidity that day. They're just kind of a pain a lot of the time. Another makeup thing I've stopped buying is any sort of brow pencil, brow pomade, anything like that, because the only way I really like doing my brows now is a brow gel and the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. That combo just looks good every time. I love it. That's what I have going on today. I have the NYX Stick It brow gel and then the Lift and Snatch. And I do miss my Ardell brow glue. That was my favorite way to do it, just a clear brow glue, laminate the brows with that, then fill them in with the brow pen. Perfect combo. So I really need to get another one of that type of product. But anyway, I have just really changed the way I do my brows. I used to always, for the longest time I used the ABH Dip Brow. I had a huge pan in that. That's a great brow pomade if you are into those, but for me, like, that, they just don't look right in my brows. I feel like my brow hairs really need to be tamed with a nice strong hold brow gel. The brow pomade is just too thick, too heavy. It doesn't look enough like hairs. And before that, I used brow pencils every single day. And brow pencils are a little bit easier, like the really thin point ones. I guess I would prefer a really fine tip brow pencil over a brow pomade, for sure, these days, but I still don't really have a need for brow pencils because I just like using my brow pen. I feel like it's a little bit easier to get a very natural hair-like stroke because it has that fine pointed brush tip. So that's why brow pencils and pomades do not really fit into my routine anymore. I won't even really try them for review because I'm not into reviewing things that I myself wouldn't even be using otherwise. Another thing I've stopped buying are liquid eyeshadows. I just don't like having more than a couple of liquid eyeshadows in my collection because they dry out before you can ever use them up, and I'd much rather just have a really pretty powder eyeshadow in that same type of finish because you can get some really beautiful finishes in a powder eyeshadow, but it can last a lot longer than a liquid that's going to dry up. They're just really hard to use up. I don't know, I just feel kind of like bad when I look at my liquid eyeshadows because I'm like, I am never going to use that up. It's a shame, you know, because it's going to dry up like any day now, probably. Another thing I don't buy, I have committed, so hold me to this, I will not be opening non-tubing mascaras. Only tubing mascaras from here on out, because I just have to accept that the majority of non-tubing mascaras either smudge or flake on me. I don't know what it is. I didn't used to have that problem. It used to be hardly any mascaras smudge or flaked on me. Now it's almost all of them. And I don't like waterproof mascaras. They're so hard to remove, and I would prefer not to deal with that. So the tubing mascaras are the way to go for me because they stay on. It's so easy to remove at the end of the night. All you need is warm water to remove it, and it just loosens it right off, and it comes off in like this clean little tube, and it's oddly satisfying. I wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Pear Eyewear, and another thing I've stopped buying is eyeglasses from the eye doctor. It is never worth it. They are so overpriced there, and I've completely converted to getting my glasses online. I recently discovered Pear Eyewear. Pear is an affordable online eyewear company, and they are really cool because you can switch up your look with their magnetic top frames. Today I have on the Ella frames, and watch this. They're a cat eye frame, which I thought was so fun. I've never had cat eye shaped glasses before, and I wasn't sure what I would think of them, but I love them. They do have a virtual try-on option on their website. I get so stressed out trying on glasses in store. Like I feel so overwhelmed by my options, so it's so nice to just be able to pick from the comfort of your own home, not feeling like pressured to hurry up and pick something. So these are the frames I went with, and I picked the clear pink color, and they do have my prescription lenses in there, and I added on the blue light protection just because I do spend a lot of time editing on my computer. So from there, then you can choose your top frames, which is so cool. So the ones I've been wearing throughout this video are the tortoise, which I just love for an everyday frame. Then for just a classic black option, I chose the black top frames. These are really fun too. And they also make sun tops, which is so cool. So these are the tortoise sun tops. Again, I'm a big fan of tortoise, if you can't tell. But these are really fun, very Audrey Hepburn. And the top frames slide right into the front of your eyeglass case, so you can take them with you on the go, and I'll just be wearing my base frames, and then if I want to go outside for a walk, I'll just pop on my sun tops, and I have a prescription pair of sunglasses ready to go. It's so easy. This way you don't have to have like a ton of different pairs of glasses. I'm gonna pop my tortoise tops back on. If you would like to try Pear Eyewear for yourself, click the link in my description box for 15% off your first pair. And a huge thank you to Pear for sponsoring today's video. I love their glasses. Next thing, I've stopped buying and have stopped collecting false lashes other than the underlash ones. Those are the only ones I will use. Regular false lashes, I do not use. I have to accept, as much as I want to be someone who wears false lashes, I'm just not. I have to accept that. I never take the time to wear them. I really am not good at applying false lashes, like the strip lashes. The underlash, those are super easy. They're the only type of false lashes that I'll wear, and even those I don't wear very often, but I will keep a stash of those. Other false lashes do not go into my collection because I don't use them. Last year I said I stopped buying colorful eyeliners. Now I have stopped buying pretty much all eyeliner except brown. I would like to have one brown liquid liner on hand, and maybe even a brown pencil, like a smoky dark brown liner, but that's the only kind of liner I really want to do. If I want a colorful liner, I'll just use a colorful eyeshadow. If I want a black eyeliner, I'll use a black eyeshadow or the black pencil that I have. And I never use up my eyeliners naturally. I think I would have to like actually put them in a project pan or something. Another thing I've stopped buying, and this is merely because I have way too many as it is, I have plenty. I do not need to buy any more brushes, like, as long as I live. Like, I am not looking at buying any new brushes. I don't have any brushes on my wish list at all. I feel like I have all I could ever need. I don't really have room to store very many more. I might be doing a brush declutter soon because it's too much. It's too much to even look at. I have no need to buy any brushes for a very long time. And the ninth thing I no longer buy, and this is another kind of specific one, but it's really important because when I'm shopping for hair products, I have to make sure that I am not getting silicone-free hair products because turns out I love silicone. I love having silicones in my hair. They make my hair feel so soft and silky, and most of all, silicones, from what I have gathered, are really good at protecting your hair. Like, they kind of coat your hair and form this like protective barrier, all while making your hair softer and smoother too. Silicones are just really great, unless you have some reason why your hair type like can't do silicones. I love silicones in hair products, and it turns out I really don't love hair products that don't have silicones. Any kind of conditioner or hair mask, any kind of leave-in conditioner, or any kind of leave-in hair product. Like, you know when you have a conditioner and you're like, it's fine, but I just don't feel like it does anything for my hair? Those are always the silicone-free products for me. There happens to be a correlation. The products where I'm like, wow, this like really does something for my hair, those are the products with silicones. But I only figured that out within like the last year. So it's been really great to like actually have this information so I know what to look for in hair products in the future. So anyway, that concludes the products I no longer buy. Let me know in the comments, what have you stopped buying that you just realized was unnecessary to have in your life, whether it be beauty related or just anything else, like any household items. Thank you again to Pair Eyewear for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget, if you click the link in my description box, you get 15% off your first pair. Thank you all for watching today's video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Click the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting my channel, I do have a Patreon and a channel membership. Huge shout out to all of my current patrons and channel members. You guys are the best. I really appreciate your support, and thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye!